come. I don't think I'll be editing out too much out of this video because I'd like people to see the bad things that go wrong, like the less than perfect stuff as well as the really good stuff that goes on. I think I let the clock drive go a little bit too long. Yep, that's probably what happened. Maybe I can just nudge it back into position by hand. It's a crude way of doing it, but it sometimes works. You can see the telescope really sways around a lot for a while. That's pretty good. You sort of saw all those peaks at the edge of the moon, just where the terminator is, sticking out in the middle of the darkness like that. That's a really beautiful sight in a way. I'll zoom it out a little bit and see if I can get it better. Actually, it'd be better just to leave it alone like it is for a minute. Give you a good look at it just like it is. Now I'll zoom it out a bit. Did I go the wrong way? Yes, I did. No, yeah, I went the wrong way. I went to telephoto. There's a more wide-angle view right there. That's pretty good. That shows you the relationship between those mountains and the little peaks, mountain peaks that are sticking out. Paso, that's a really good view right there. Interesting to see how dark the part of the moon is that's outside the sunlit part. We're actually looking at there actually is parts of the moon filling in the whole field of view, but most of it is dark right now. What's happening now is I think the moon is passing sort of behind starting to pass behind some tree leaves, and so it's not quite perfect right now, but that's a very interesting image right there. That's through the 400 power eyepiece with the camera set at the wide angle setting. That's a very interesting view. So what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to, if I can manage it, try and get another part of the moon in. I might not manage it at all before the thing goes behind the tree entirely. Here I come. I don't think I'm going to get observing conditions as good as this for a while again. I've nothing in there now, so what I'm going to do is just move the telescope by hand, kind of, and try and back into the part of the moon that's still observable, right there. It'll take a little bit of a jerk to do it with this thing. Whoops, there it goes, blasting right by the whole thing too much. Hold on, there we are. That looks very interesting right there. That little section of it. There's a crater up near the top. Looks interesting. I think I'll try and readjust that just a little bit. The declination slow motion control. To get that crater in. I have a powerful finder scope, a 5-inch finder, about 50 power right now. And if I'm moving this the right way, I'll soon know. I have a feeling this little episode's not going to last too much longer. Whoops, just bashed into the observatory wall a little bit. I moved it the wrong way, so I'll have to move it a bit back to get that crater in nicely. There's a slow motion, manual slow motion control on this, a declination. It doesn't really have an electronic one. That should do it. There it goes. This is fun, really. Hope they're not these videos aren't too boring, but they're very interesting, I think. I don't think the moon's going to be visible much longer. Like this. That crater's all right now. It's not doing too badly. Pardon me. Slight cough. I'm just going to turn the clock drive off just for a few seconds and give you a better look at that. That might do it. There I go. Well, if you're patient, at least you'll get to see some part of the moon that looks pretty neat if you watch these videos. I think the moon is just about gone from my ability to observe tonight. There's the crater turning out pretty good. That's not bad at all. I'll give you a look at that for a minute. I'll try and zoom in on it just for fun a little bit. See what sort of happens. That's good. Not quite, just a little bit too powerful. That's a beautiful view. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. Focus is nice and the seeing is pretty good. Coming and going, of course. I'm just going to turn the clock drive off just for about 1 or 2 seconds to try and center that crater just a little bit better. Fascinating, it really is. That should do it. This is a very inexpensive little Kodak digital camera that has a video function on it, and it just held onto the telescope with a homemade clamp. Nothing too fancy about it. That's a little bit better view of the crater right there. In fact, I'm just going to turn the clock drive off a little bit again. Give you sort of a panoramic view of the thing. Like I say, if you want to find out what these moon features are you're looking at, I'm not too familiar with them. Just go on Google and get a moon map or something like that, and you're all set. That should do it. This may take me a few days to edit these videos. It's not going to be that easy, but stuff like that. Let's see how we're doing now. That's pretty good. I think I let it go a little bit too long, but maybe not. You can see the crater pretty neatly. That's a very sharp image, really. And those mountains that are sticking out on the other side like that, that's really neat. Just going to let it sit there for a while. I might just zoom in a little bit more just for fun and see what goes on. Whoops, there it goes. I'm just sort of trying to jerk it back into position, but I don't think that's going to work. It sometimes does a little bit, at really high power. Yeah, that's not bad. That's really a nice view right there. I'm surprised. I think that zoomed out almost all the way. can see the bright rim of the crater. You can see the turbulence. All of a sudden I'm getting a really sharp view of the rim of the crater. I think the little bit of breeze is just catching the telescope too, just moving it around. Just a little tiny bit. It's starting to fade out now because I think the moon is starting to disappear pretty extensively behind the tree. So just about at the end of the video, the video length of time anyway. But you're getting a really good view of that crater off and on in little bits and pieces. All of a sudden the crater rims are really sharp and stuff like that. I'll just let it play out. I'll say goodbye. I hope you enjoy this. To me it's a lot of fun. Hope I didn't, it seems a little boring, but that's what amateur astronomers do. They have to look for a while to see things really well sometimes. Goodbye.